Most fuel injector cleaners do absolutely nothing for your engine. Some of them will actually destroy it. I've spent years testing these products, pouring them into fuel rails, running them through injectors, and tearing down engines to see what's really happening inside. One cleaner brought a clogged injector back to spray pattern in under an hour. Another one ate through rubber seals and killed a catalytic converter that cost over $2,000 to replace. Today I'm going to show you the 9 fuel injector cleaners you need to avoid, and the 5 that actually deliver results. Let's get into it. Number 9. Marvel Mystery Oil. Marvel Mystery Oil has been around since 1923, and your grandfather probably swore by it. But here's the problem. It's a lubricant, not a cleaner. Pouring MMO into your gas tank expecting it to scrub carbon off your injectors is like using hand lotion to wash dishes. It'll make things slippery, but the grime stays right where it is. MMO does one thing well. It lubricates upper cylinders, fuel pumps, and injector internals. That can slow down future deposit buildup if your engine is already clean. But once carbon has baked onto your injectors from thousands of heat cycles, MMO won't touch it. You need a detergent called polyethyramine, or PEA for short. That's the only chemical proven to dissolve hardened carbon deposits. Marvel Mystery Oil contains 0 PEA. If you want light lubrication during an oil change, MMO is fine. But if you're chasing lost power or rough idle, you're wasting your money here. Number 8. Seafoam Motor Treatment. This one hurts because Seafoam has a loyal following. Mechanics have recommended it for decades. The brand has been around since the 1940s. But when you look at what's actually in the can, the story changes. Seafoam's main ingredients are pale oil, naphtha, and isopropyl alcohol. Those are decent at loosening light gunk, but they cannot dissolve baked-on carbon. They don't contain PEA. What often happens is, Seafoam breaks deposits loose without dissolving them, and those chunks float through your fuel system looking for somewhere to cause trouble. Clogged fuel filters, fouled spark plugs, and random check engine lights are common complaints. Seafoam works fine in 2-stroke engines and small equipment. For your car or truck, it's not the right tool. Number 7. Abro Injector Cleaner. Abro has bold packaging and an aggressive name, but the main ingredient tells a different story. It's number 2 gas oil, which is essentially diesel fuel. Diesel was never designed to clean gasoline injectors. What Abro does is knock deposits loose without dissolving them. Those bits of carbon and varnish travel downstream and jam up injectors, clog filters, and throw off your air-fuel mixture. You might feel a brief improvement as loosened debris clears, but give it a few weeks. The problems come back worse. Without PEA in the formula, you're just relocating the mess instead of eliminating it. Number 6. Generic $3 cleaners. Walk through any auto parts store and you'll see fuel injector cleaners selling for $3 or $4. The labels promise restored power and 25% better fuel economy. Don't believe it! These bottles are filled with cheap solvents, usually kerosene, alcohol, or some combination of both. They might remove surface-level grime, but they cannot dissolve hardened carbon. Worse, when they do loosen deposits, those chunks can migrate into your catalytic converter and cause blockages. I've seen drivers turn a $3 gamble into a repair bill over $2,000. Buy one quality cleaner with PEA instead of 5 bottles of bargain bin snake oil. Number 5. High ethanol cleaners. Ethanol is already in most pump gas, usually around 10%. Adding a cleaner that's built on even more ethanol creates problems your engine doesn't need. Ethanol is hygroscopic, which means it pulls moisture out of the air. That extra water causes corrosion in fuel tanks, lines, and injector bodies. Repairs can run anywhere from a few $100s for lines to several thousand for a corroded fuel rail. Ethanol also contains oxygen, which leans out your air-fuel mixture. A lean burn means higher combustion temperatures, engine knock, and in severe cases, melted pistons. Older vehicles built before 2001 take the biggest hit because their rubber seals weren't designed for high ethanol exposure. Stick with PEA-based cleaners and skip the ethanol bombs. Number 4. Alcohol-heavy formulas. Some injector cleaners advertise high isopropyl alcohol content as a feature. They claim it dries out your tank and cleans your injectors in one shot. The reality is more complicated. Alcohol can absorb water, which helps in small doses, but in larger amounts it dries out rubber seals, cracks O-rings, and weakens plastic fuel system components. Once those seals fail, you're looking at fuel leaks and pressure loss. Alcohol also isn't strong enough to dissolve heavy carbon. It knocks chunks loose instead, which leads to the same clogging problems we've already talked about. If you need to remove water from a tank in an emergency, a little IPA can help. As a regular injector cleaner, it's the wrong tool. Number 3. Kerosene-based cleaners. Open a cheap injector cleaner and take a whiff. If it smells like kerosene, that's because it probably is. Many budget brands use kerosene as the primary ingredient because it's cheap and blends easily with gasoline. The problem is, kerosene does almost nothing to hard carbon deposit. It's too weak. Even mixed with detergents, the cleaning power gets diluted to almost nothing once it hits a full tank of gas. Worse, kerosene lowers the octane rating of your fuel, which can cause engine knock. Sustained knocking leads to serious internal damage. I've seen repair bills climb past $10,000 from engines wrecked by persistent knock. If the label lists kerosene or petroleum distillates as the main ingredient, leave it on the shelf. Number 2. Harsh solvent blends. Some injector cleaners brag about being extra strength. What that usually means is they're loaded with aggressive solvents like xylene, acetone, or heavy alcohol blends. These chemicals strip carbon so aggressively that they don't dissolve it. They blast it loose in chunks. Those chunks travel downstream and clog injectors, foul oxygen sensors, and block catalytic converters. Once a cat gets plugged, you're not cleaning it out. You're replacing it for north of $2,000. Xylene and acetone also attack rubber hoses, O-rings, and plastic components. Seals dry out, crack, and start leaking. Don't trust a bottle that sells itself as a miracle deep cleaner. If it doesn't list PEA as the active ingredient, walk away. Number 1. Miracle Multi-Purpose Blends. This is the worst category. Some bottles claim to clean injectors, flush oil passages, stabilize fuel, and fix exhaust problems all in one treatment. When a product promises to do everything, it usually does nothing well. These multi-purpose additives are typically made of cheap solvents with no real detergent power. They don't contain PEA. They might thin sludge temporarily or freshen fuel for a short time, but they don't dissolve carbon deposits. Worse, multi-purpose formulas can interact badly with oil seals and sensors because they're not designed for any single system. Cars are built with precise tolerances. A product that claims to fix everything usually risks breaking something instead. Visual note: transition graphic. Now that you know what to avoid, let's talk about the fuel injector cleaners that actually work. These contain PEA, they've been tested, and they deliver real results. Number 5. Lucas Deep Clean. Lucas has been in the additive business for decades, and their Deep Clean formula is one of the most reliable options for regular maintenance. It contains PEA to dissolve carbon, plus lubricants that protect your injectors, fuel pump, and upper cylinders. Is it the strongest cleaner available? No. If your injectors are severely clogged, you'll need something more aggressive. But for everyday drivers who want to prevent buildup before it becomes a problem, Lucas is safe, effective, and affordable. Use it every 3,000 to 5,000 miles as preventive maintenance. Number 4. Goom Out Regain High Mileage. If your car has over 75,000 miles and has never had a proper fuel system cleaning, this is where you start. Goom Out Regaina uses a higher concentration of PEA than most cleaners, which makes it strong enough to dissolve baked-on deposits that rob horsepower and fuel economy. Drivers often notice smoother idle and quicker throttle response after one tank. It also helps fight ethanol damage by conditioning fuel and reducing corrosion. For high-mileage vehicles that need a reset, Goom Out is one of the best starting points. Number 3. Royal Purple Max Clean. Royal Purple goes beyond basic cleaning. MaxClean contains PEA for carbon removal, but it also works as a fuel stabilizer. If your car sits for weeks between drives, the fuel won't go stale as quickly. Another advantage is longevity. While many cleaners need to be used every 3,000 miles, Royal Purple can protect for up to 10,000. It costs more than budget options, but the extended protection makes it worth the price for daily drivers who don't want to fuss with frequent treatments. Number 2, Redline S1. This is the heavy hitter. Redline SI1 has one of the highest PEA concentrations you can buy over the counter, sometimes 30 to 50%. That makes it extremely effective at dissolving stubborn carbon in injectors, valves, and combustion chambers. Drivers report smoother idle, restored power, and reduced knock after a single treatment. The catch is you need to follow the directions exactly. Pour it into a nearly empty tank, fill up, and let it run through the system. Used properly, Redline is one of the best ways to reset a neglected fuel system without pulling injectors for professional cleaning. Number 1, Chevron Techron Concentrate Plus. This is the cleaner most automakers and mechanics actually recommend. Chevron developed a patented PEA formula that breaks down carbon deposits in injectors, intake valves, and combustion chambers without damaging seals or clogging filters. Techron works in gas cars, hybrids, motorcycles, and small engines. One bottle treats about 20 gallons of fuel, and Chevron recommends using it every 3,000 miles. It costs more than bargain cleaners, but you'll spend more on coffee this week than you will on a bottle of Techron. And this stuff can save you from repairs in the thousands. If you want one fuel system cleaner that actually lives up to the hype, Techron is it. Now you know which injector cleaners will destroy your engine and which ones actually deliver. But bad advice doesn't stop at additives. Some drivers still believe fuel myths that are costing them money every time they fill up. I break down the worst ones in our video on fuel myths you need to stop believing. I'll see you there.